Since I was born, the Western media has glorified the United States of America to be a place of heaven, a place filled with honey, a place where there are all roses everywhere. The system is working for them 24/7, just as Chinny Jonas and other people have been preaching about. But there are different sides to the United States of America that the Western media is hiding from the people of Africa. That today I'm wanting to share with you. So, in a space of about 10 to 12 minutes, I'm going to share with you 3 videos coming from the state of California in cities like Oakland, San Jose, and Sacramento, that you will know that indeed there are slums in the United States of America, but the Western media is hiding from you and I. Let me know at the comment section what you think about this video and whether Africa is the only place where there are slums or not.
California has by far the biggest homeless crisis in the nation. It's just out of control here. It's getting worse. This was day 6 on the road trip, and up to that point, I saw a lot of terrible. But it was in San Jose and Sacramento where I stumbled onto some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen. Look at the place. There's entire rooms built out of scrap wood, tarps, and whatever else people could find. There's living areas with couches, RVs, generators, burned out cars, smoldering campfires, and a lot of debris. It's kind of hard to tell what's trash and what's important to someone. And all of it in the dirt alongside a major road underneath a freeway overpass. And no one was out here. It looks like the end of the world. This was just a teeny part of what I could see. It all continued down along the banks of the creek. I didn't want to go back there. Kind of felt sketchy where I was. It kind of looks like this in a lot of places in California now. And all of it right next to a fancy golf course in San Jose, the second wealthiest city in the nation. This does not make sense. It's so bad here, the city leaders are running around trying to add more rehab beds and grabbing as much Narcan as they can get. Some of these people are out here because San Jose has been tearing down its largest homeless encampments. There was a place called the Jungle that was known nationwide because it was the biggest homeless encampment in the country. They tore it down, and today they're demolishing the current largest homeless encampment in the country. Oakland, California sure does have a homeless problem. Driving around town, there's homeless encampments all over the place. They're on the sides of the roads and dirt lots. There's long stretches of them on sidewalks. Some are in tents, some are in RVs, some are actual encampments with makeshift structures where hundreds of people gather into communities. It's estimated there's about 5,000 homeless individuals throughout the city of Oakland, but nobody really knows the exact answer. And the number of people on the streets in Oakland's nearly doubled in the last 2 years alone. A lot of that has to do with the high cost of living in the Bay Area. Apartments that were once $1,000 a month now cost closer to $3,000 a month. A lot of the homeless are addicts, but there's no real one reason homelessness is so high in Oakland. If you ask 10 homeless people why they live on the streets, you're going to get 10 different answers. Look at this one in West Oakland. This one is sort of sanctioned by the city, meaning they don't run them off. Sometimes it's easier to keep them in one place so they can monitor them and provide support. But this problem's impacting the community in a big way. Local businesses complain about losing customers. I mean, would you want to park near here to shop? Residents complain about homeless people stealing from them. Neighbors complain about loud noise and trash. Some say helping the homeless is backfiring. And the Oakland police are already stretched thin because of low numbers. There's many reasons for that. Vaccine mandates, early retirements, and being defunded. Now, I spent 2 days driving around Oakland, looking at how run down this once proud city's become. And along the way, I recorded all the homeless camps I saw. But there was one particular homeless camp that I stumbled onto, which put into perspective the state of homelessness here in Oakland and actually changed my perspective on the homeless problem in general. So I was driving around on the west side of town. I came across a huge makeshift camp made up of RVs and improvised shelters, something that looked like what you would see in a third world country. It was under a freeway overpass across the street from a public park, in an abandoned area of former warehouses that people had used to dump their crap for years.
These are stuff to secure land and then develop it. We're an architect that's going to map out plan course and stuff. And
so this may be future homes, small homes, affordable for people that are homeless, maybe.
Yeah. We want to start off with the homeless because there's like 10,000 homeless just in Berkeley, Oakland alone, if I'm not mistaken. And then across America, you can imagine how many people are really homeless and stuff. No one can afford there are people who can afford to live in the Bay Area, but for the most part, affordable housing is not minimum wage. That's not going to get you affordable housing. And the affordable housing they plan on building here, out of 171 units, only 13 units are deemed affordable housing, and it's going to be for veterans and foster kids, if I'm not mistaken. Ones that have turned 18, though. And we're for that. We're happy that they have a place to stay, but nobody that lives on this site, and this is not just from here, it's from Wood Street, from this area, all the way up around to Target and stuff. There's about roughly 200 people. Not in the front, but there's a lot of them in the back still, that none of the houses are going to go toward, none of the apartments will go towards them. We've got apartments across the street being built. No one here can afford those, and, most of them are, more than half of them are empty right now, and they're building more of them. But right across the street, you have a bunch of people that are homeless and would love to be in a place, a warm place, but they're not being offered to them. And anyway.
So, there's a misnomer that the homeless population is basically people that made very bad decisions, all the addicts and stuff. But you think it's an affordable housing thing more than anything?
So anybody watching this and stuff, you tell me about how COVID affected you. Hopefully you're still in a home, or maybe you're not and stuff. But there's a lot of people that, and everybody knows this, is not, it's a fact, that basically didn't work for 2 years almost. And then half of them didn't go back to work because now the businesses they work for was out of business because they had no business because they weren't open majority of the time. So anybody out there, there's so many people out here that lost their jobs or couldn't afford their rent because their job told them you can only work, from home or half the hours that you used to work. And I have a mortgage though, that, so forth. No, it's not because of
it's a COVID thing more long ago.
It's a accumulation of a lot of things. Some of the people out here, yes, they made bad choices and stuff. Some of the people out here lost their jobs during the COVID time. Some of the people had other hardships and stuff. It's not. That's another thing we're trying to express to people. It's not because of drugs and alcohol that the majority of people out here. Things happen, and if people out there can't understand or see that things happen to people in life that cause things, and then you have a bigger thing that happens that we have no control over, like COVID. Add that to just daily life and daily living and daily situation stuff, and then think about the Bay Area and how expensive $1,800, if I'm not mistaken, for Oakland is the average one-bedroom apartment, $1,800 a month. So you're thinking $20 an hour is still only giving you $1,600 before taxes. Take out your taxes, you got maybe $1,300, $1,200. You still don't cover your rent in one check. You have a car note, you have car insurance. Maybe you have just one kid goes to school. One parent works, or what have you? You got to wash clothes, you got to pay electricity, you got to pay garbage, all this stuff, maybe your mortgage stuff. So you tell me that, who can really afford one way?
I know. I was shocked. A lot of the homeless people I saw in Oakland were people who I thought I would not see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought most of the people I'd encounter were going to be tweakers and drunks and addicts who stole for a living to support their drug habits. While I did see a lot of that, I also saw a lot of community and progress and people with goals and ambitions. Many people in communities like this are far more self-sufficient than the crowd you see on sidewalks who can't form a sentence because of years of addiction. I went to Oakland with a preconceived notion of what I thought I'd see and came out with an enlightened story to tell. Who'd have thought? However, this would be far different than what I would see when I crossed the bridge for San Francisco the next day. That video will tell a different story. The day before, I had driven around San Jose, which is also getting bonkers with all the people living on the streets. San Jose's homeless population is up 11% this year, but I'm guessing that number's low. There's just no way to count everyone. Just walk around the city's main park downtown and you get a glimpse of how bad things are here now. There's people laying around all over the place. All of this was homeless people. The day I was here, it was down to this. It's still a crazy sight. They call this their field of dreams. I don't know why they call this place that. Maybe because it's the last best place these folks had. Else here, Kat was getting ready to leave. She had about a week to find a new place to live. She told me that dealing with all of this and trying to work at the same time was a real drag. I can imagine.
I was offered the job the next year, but unfortunately, COVID hit, so.
How do people feel that they're closing this down?
It's hard. It's really hard because a lot of people, their RVs are their homes.
I know you see these things for yourself, and I'm not trying to paint a different narrative against the Western world. I don't have any negative mentality or mindset towards the West. What I'm just trying to tell you is that there are different sides to everything. They're both good and bad, and the ones that can be manageable. But you don't paint a different place black, but wanting to glorify yours. In my last episode, I showed you some places, some nice places in Africa, especially in Ghana. When you come to Accra, there are nice places in Ghana. You can see skyscrapers, people living good and all that. Doesn't mean that there isn't dirty places in Ghana. There are dirty places in Ghana, of which the Western media were and was so fast to be showing the world that indeed some places in Ghana or Africa are very dirty. In the quest of me wanting to challenge the narrative or to change the narrative to promoting Ghana and Africa in a positive manner and showing beautiful and nicest places in Ghana and some part of Africa, it is good, or it is of essence for me to also show some dirty places in the United States of America for my people or for the viewers to appreciate that indeed all is no roses. If you should ask me if I'm being given the chance to go to the US, won't I visit there? Yes, I'll visit there. I'll go there and also experience things for myself. Because this video that I showed you is a video as at 2015, but I don't know that there has been, an update regards to the place, whether the place has been changed or those camps have been removed. No, yeah. I'll go there and experience things for myself because it's the same thing that I do tell people to visit Africa, to experience things for themselves. So it is not like I'm just trying to paint a different narrative against the West. What I'm just trying to tell, or what I'm just trying to do, is to appreciate that indeed there's a glitch to every place. There's both good and bad, and the one that can be manageable. You've done so well to propagate the negative side of Africa. We, together with other African content creators, are also doing our best possible to show the good side of Africa to you people. In our quest to do that, we need to also bring the bad side of the US for our people, for them to know. Because majority of them think that the US is like heaven, a place of, milk and sugar. A place like when you go, everything is perfect then, but there are some corners that the Western media is not showing us. So that's what basically I'm just trying to do. This is not something that I'm just trying to propagate, but I'm wanting the people to appreciate that indeed the United States of America has been shown that it is beautiful, but there's a different side to it. Let me know what you think about this content. Subscribe to the channel if you've not, and share this video to each and every African that you know, for them to know that indeed there's a different side to everything. My name is Ambassador Vix, and I'm the youngest ambassador ever wanting to bring a positive image to the people of Africa and Africans. See you next time in another episode. Sokoto. Bayande.